So typically, Sunday is my day to shower and rest and recharge. My hair is setting as we speak, which is why I look like a 1940s movie star who's ready for her close up. Um, so, Joe Biden announced around noon or so today that he was dropping out of the 2024 presidential election, and about an hour later endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee for president. She's already garnered a bunch of high profile endorsements, including most of the Dem Senate caucus, the Black caucus, both the Clintons. Very interestingly, not Barack Obama, who's pushing for an open convention so the party can decide who the nominee is going to be rather than just sliding over into the Kamala Harris camp. Um, there's a fundraising issue with that, though. The money can't move to a new candidate, so whoever would get it would be starting from scratch. I saw a rumor on Twitter that people close to Joe Manchin said he was planning on re-registering and trying to make a run at the convention. He's currently independent, of course. So, yeah, so that's all very interesting. Um, yeah, it's Sunday. I was looking forward to having a rest. Um, and being very chill. I woke up in such a good mood today. It lasted 20 minutes. So I've been on the phone with a lot of people. Nationwide. My phone's been very, very busy. From coast to coast. Uh, I get the we need to coalesce around Kamala, you know, the vice president. The Democrat Party chair for Tennessee already pledged their 77 delegates, and other states are considering doing the same thing to kind of make her nomination a fait accompli. Um, However, there's a couple things that are going to happen. One, this is extremely chaotic, and the party elite and the donors have forced out Joe Biden. I'm not saying he didn't have a bad debate night. I'm not saying that he's not in a great place for his age with the stress of the office. You know, when you look at videos from 2020 and videos from now, it's pretty stark. I'm not saying we don't have a Joe Biden problem. Um, but that conversation needed to happen a year ago, and I think it's pretty awful that the White House and other people kind of kept this situation under wraps for so long, to serve his pride or serve his agenda or whatever have you. And I get it's not an easy thing, to get such a distinguished person, someone who's such a big wheel in the Democrat Party, to walk away, but that doesn't need to happen a year ago. And people lied, people waited until it got so bad and so obvious that donors were walking away and celebrities were walking away and all this sort of thing. And, um, June 27th is going to go down as the day Joe Biden personally lost the election. Um, I feel really sorry for Joe Biden right now. It's an ignominious end to a pretty storied political career. Very Shakespearean. Um, but this chaos, though, gonna is not good for convincing independent, swing and undecided voters. It's not good for people on the fence. Two is I get the desire for a Kamala Harris nomination, and I think that's where things are going to go. The problem is that's going to be the election lost, and I don't say that to say that's bad on her, because I was an OG Kamala person. She was my 2020 person. I am OG K Hive. I thought, yes, love her, absolutely. We need younger, fresher faces around here. Like, yes, let's go. Unfortunately, her impression with people and with voters has not been good. She really only started to sound like the vice president about 6 months ago. I think it took a lot for her to go from AG, prosecutor, senator, very different energy, to vice presidential energy. And there was definitely a bit of a learning curve and just issues with her office, and the whole Borders Czar thing didn't go well, and all this type of thing. But I think the biggest liability, I think the thing that's about most awful, is over the next, starting tomorrow morning, really, the right wing news media is going to tear her apart, and it will make Obama and birtherism seem like a picnic compared to what's about to happen to her. The level of racism, sexism, misogyny. She's going to get called the DEI candidate, the DEI vice president, the DEI president. I mean, all this sort of thing. The vitriol is going to become awful. And to some degree, it's already starting. And it's going to lose us the election, unfortunately. Everyone says, oh, Trump's scared of Kamala. No, this was a huge gift. Now, from a news cycle perspective, they couldn't have picked a better time to do it because you've totally shifted the narrative away from Trump and J.D. Vance and the RNC and all this type of thing. And now all everyone's going to be talking about going into the Democratic Convention in Chicago is the Democrats. So from a news narrative perspective, you just captured the news energy for the next couple of weeks. Trump's gonna have a terrible time breaking through. Good luck with that, Mr. Trump. Unfortunately, the last time Democrats were in Chicago was in 1968. It was kind of a messy convention, and they lost to Nixon. Not badly, but, still lost. And to do all of this in less than 100 days, you want to nominate someone different, get them a VP pick, introduce both of those people to the whole country, get everybody on board, and convince undecided and swing voters in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona, and North Carolina, possibly Ohio, that this is the person and this is who should be leading America for the next 4 years. Good luck. It's not going to work. Simple as, not going to work. It's just not going to work. And again, this is not personal criticism of Vice President Harris at all. Again, OG Kamala person. I love her. I think she's great. It's been wonderful to watch her really grow into the office. When Molly Jong-Fast a couple years ago wrote an article that said she had an opportunity to do whatever because it hadn't gone well, I think she embraced that and she did it. And she got the job done and has grown into the role a great deal. And she has come so far from 2020. And that is absolutely amazing. But I'm sorry, if you think this country is going to elect a woman and a person of color to be president, I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. And also I have the Golden Gate Bridge for sale for an excellent price in San Francisco. It's not going to work. Sorry, it's not. It's just not going to work. This is the United States of America. We don't do that here, in case you haven't noticed how 2016 went. And the fact that more people aren't talking about how the Democrat donors and the Democrat elites and the party elite just lost the country, is quite telling and quite saddening. But that's the reality. We've just lost the election and we've just lost the country. So, I don't know if Melania is going to be picking out drapes or what. Maybe they'll just use the ones from the last term. But yeah, first president since Grover Cleveland to not serve non-consecutive terms. We truly do live in historic times. But I will say this. If by some miracle, like small children and ships named Enterprise, they managed to pull this out, this election will be as significant as 1824, 1860, 1912. This will be studied forever. 2000. I mean, this election will be studied and analyzed over and over again forever. And we're living in interesting, fascinating times, but unfortunately, the party managed to force Joe Biden out in an uncomfortable moment. It wasn't managed well. They let it be chaotic. No one came to him last year and said, Joe, you're not doing that great. We need to go in a different direction. No one was brave enough to do that until it became untenable. And then they forced him out 100 days before an election. And I think they may have just lost everything. And to that, I blame the Democrat National Committee. I blame every Democrat elite from the Clintons on down. Everybody, you caused this mess. You're not going to be able to clean it up. And we probably just lost the election. So it's a sad day, but, make your decisions for November. I'll still be voting blue myself. But this is a very sad day and a very sad moment in American politics. Sad to be living through it. All right, there'll be more in the days to come, I'm sure, because it's going to be a busy news week. Talk soon. Bye-bye.